Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well and you are also preparing pretty well for your upcoming examination like DBT, GRF and CSIR. So this video is in continuation with this bioprocessing part 1 video. I have already discussed question number 1 to 11 in part 1 of bioprocessing video. I will provide the link of that video in the description box as well as in the I button. So kindly watch both the parts to gain insights of what can be asked in the bioprocess engineering in your DBT GRE exam. So without any further ado, let's start the. So before starting, I would request you to kindly subscribe the channel because it motivates me a lot. Honestly speaking, because it takes a very good amount of efforts to make a single video for all of you. So as you all know from my shorts that I have a very busy schedule in lab. So apart from that thing, apart from that, I used to make video because I love teaching. I love to share knowledge of whatever I have. So kindly respect that and please subscribe the channel. So the first question is, a primary metabolite is produced during the stationary phase, not growth associated, produced during active growth phase, a secondary product. So firstly, primary metabolites are those compound which are very essential for the growth of the cell, like amino acid, nucleotides, because all these things are important for the cell division and for the rapid multiplication of the cell in the production medium. So, in which phase this primary metabolite is synthesized? Produced during the stationary phase? No, it cannot be produced during the stationary phase because the primary metabolites are required during the initial phase of this growth of the cell, because during that time all the nutrients are required. So, it cannot be synthesized in the stationary phase. So, this option is wrong. Now, not growth associated. Obviously, all these nutrients are growth associated. I was talking about this only in the first option. So, this is also wrong. Produced during active growth phase. Yes, this is correct. And the right answer of this question. A secondary product? No. Secondary product are like toxin, antibiotics, pigment. All these are secondary metabolite and not the primary metabolite. And also, one question can be asked from this question, that the primary metabolites are synthesized during the active growth phase, and that active growth phase is known as the tropo phase. I have just now uploaded one shorts related to the tropo phase and the EDO phase, which is frequently asked in bioprocess engineering. So don't miss that shorts. Request you to kindly watch that 2-minute shorts to gain insights of what is tropo phase and what is EDO phase. So whenever a cell divides very rapidly and it synthesizes primary metabolite, it is tropophase. But when a cell is given the defensibility to uphold the extreme condition, then it is in the idiophase, it is in the stationary phase, and the nutrients are limited. So, all these things you have to keep in your mind. Now, moving on to the next question, it is immobilized enzymes are preferred because they. So, what is immobilization? And then we will come to the immobilized enzyme. So, immobilization is a process of confining enzyme. Enzyme is confined onto a solid support which is known as a matrix. So, through different way you can confine this enzyme onto this matrix, whether through physical interaction like non-covalent interaction, covalent interaction. Obviously, the non-covalent interaction will not last for longer because it is a weak interaction, of course, and the matrix can be variety of matrix, macro support, nano support, and also this enzyme can be physically binded to the matrix, or else it your enzyme, you can also encapsulate or entrap your enzyme into the matrix by making beads and likewise. So immobilization is a physical technique of confining an enzyme onto a matrix so that after use you can recover it and you can recycle it, and to offer the repeated use of a single enzyme, immobilization is preferred. So are always cheaper? No. This exactly, or are always cheaper? No. This point is not exactly true, बिकॉज ये इमोबिलाइजेशन प्रोसेस है एक, तो ऑब्वियसली ये चीप तो नहीं होगा, बट हाँ, ये एक बार इमोबिलाइजेशन के कॉस्ट आने के बाद में अगर हम एक ही एंजाइम को मल्टीपल टाइम यूज़ कर पा रहे हैं, अगर हम किसी प्रोसेस के बाद उस एंजाइम को निकाल पा रहे हैं और उसी एंजाइम को दूसरे साइकिल में यूज़ कर पा रहे हैं, थर्ड साइकिल में यूज़ कर पा रहे हैं, फोर्थ साइकिल में यूज़ कर पा रहे हैं, यानी रिपीटेड यूज़ कर पा रहे हैं मल्टीपल साइकिल्स के लिए, देन इट इज़ कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव, बट डायरेक्टली इट इज़ नॉट चीपर. Now it cannot be denatured. No, immobilized enzyme can be denatured. Cannot तो नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि obviously we are using a support matrix. So it is a chemical support and only. So it can be denatured, it can be modified. So ये option भी wrong है, ये दोनों ही wrong है. Can be reused and separated easily. Yes, this is the right option and the purpose of immobilization are more active. No, this is again a wrong option. So the right answer for this question is can be reused and separated easily. So, moving on to the next question. So, do include the uh, notes in your copy. Which of the following is a shear sensitive cell line? E. coli, yeast, CHO cells, Bacillus subtilis. So, CHO cells are the most fragile and it requires low shear environment because these are very sensitive cell lines. So, moving on to the next question. Which gas is commonly used for sparging in aerobic fermenters? So, you all know about the sparging. In aerobic fermenters, sparging is used through a mechanical device, and the gas which is used for sparging is none other than air. Air is the right answer. Air is economical and has enough oxygen. हमें पता है कि 21% ऑक्सीजन होता है हमारे एनवायरमेंट में. सो द राइट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन इज 21% oxygen which is present in our air. So next question. The volumetric oxygen transfer coefficient is represented by what? So it is represented by this KLa. So KLa quantifies the rate at which oxygen is transferred from gas to liquid. यानी पूछा है द वॉल्यूमेट्रिक ऑक्सीजन ट्रांसफर कोफिशिएंट. सो वॉल्यूमेट्रिक ऑक्सीजन ट्रांसफर कोफिशिएंट को हम रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं KLa से, विच क्वांटिफाइज द रेट एट विच ऑक्सीजन इज ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम गैस टू लिक्विड. सो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे चलते हैं क्विकली. So a typical antifoam used in bioreactor. So as you all know, in a bioreactor, sparging and stirring is at a very high speed. So sparging is done rapidly. So it generates foam and we have to defoam it. So for that, an anti-foaming agent is required. So most of the time it is silicone oil which is used as an anti-foam agent. So right answer for this question is option C. Now moving on to the next question. In scale-up bioreactors, which parameter is often kept constant? In a scale-up bioreactor, the ऑक्सीजन ट्रांसफर रेट इज केप्ट कांस्टेंट. सो ऑक्सीजन ट्रांसफर रेट के ऊपर बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन हमने सॉल्व कर लिए हैं. कल के में भी एक किया था और अभी भी 2 कर लिया. सो जो ऑक्सीजन ट्रांसफर रेट है दैट इज नोन एज दी OTR. उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा जान लेते हैं. सो दिस OTR मेजर्स हाउ क्विकली ऑक्सीजन इज ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम अ गैस फेज. यानी OTR क्या बताता है कि ऑक्सीजन कितनी क्विकली गैस फेज से लिक्विड फेज में जा सकता है इन अ कल्चर. यानी OTR tells about the how quickly oxygen from a gaseous state can be transferred into a liquid phase. Liquid phase क्या होगा? कल्चर मीडियम. कितनी क्विकली वो लिक्विफाई होके उसमें कल्चर मीडियम में. सो इट इज अ वेरी क्रिटिकल पैरामीटर इन मेनी प्रोसेसेस. जहाँ पे बायोरिएक्टर में, ये किस बायोरिएक्टर के लिए मेनली इंपॉर्टेंट होगा? ये ऐसे बायोरिएक्टर के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट होगा जहाँ पर क्या यूज हो रहा है? जहाँ पे ऑक्सीजन की यूज हो रही है. यानी माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म को whenever the microorganism will need oxygen to grow, then this OTR is very very important. So सर कोफिशिएंट का भी हमने देखा था. इट्स यूनिट इज KLa. सो it depicts about how easily oxygen move across the gas liquid interface. So I hope ये आपको समझ आया होगा. So next is which fermentation process involve both aerobic and anaerobic condition. So this question is important. This can be definitely asked, DBT exam. So which fermentation process involve both aerobic and anaerobic condition? यानी कि ऑक्सीजन के प्रेजेंस में भी होता है एंड ऑक्सीजन के एब्सेंस में भी ये होता है. किस फर्मेंटेशन में? इज इट लैक्टिक एसिड फर्मेंटेशन, एसीटोन ब्यूटेनॉल फर्मेंटेशन, विनेगर प्रोडक्शन और अल्कोहल फर्मेंटेशन? So it is the vinegar production in which both phase are there. यानी कि ऐसा फर्मेंटेशन जिसमें एरोबिक या एनारोबिक स्टेजेस दोनों ही होते हैं, दैट इज द विनेगर प्रोडक्शन और एसिटिक एसिड प्रोडक्शन. So this process involves the anaerobic fermentation of sugars into ethanol by yeast. यानी शुगर से हमें पता है through the process of fermentation it will yield what? It will yield ethanol. And ये प्रोसेस जो होता है वो ऑक्सीजन के एब्सेंस में होता है. एंड आफ्टर दैट जब हमें इथेनॉल मिल गया, देन इट इज फॉलोड बाय द ऑक्सीडेशन ऑफ दिस इथेनॉल टू एसिटिक एसिड, एंड दिस इज through the oxidation of ethanol into acetic acid in the presence of oxygen. So मैंने आपको बता भी दिया ऑक्सीजन के प्रेजेंस में और ऑक्सीजन के एब्सेंस में क्या होता है, विनेगर का प्रोडक्शन होता है. सो दिस क्वेश्चन is definitely going to be asked in your DBT GRF examination. So now next question and the last question of today's session. Which parameter is most critical for anaerobic fermentation? So obviously if you are talking about anaerobic fermentation, then critical parameter will be oxygen level only. If you will give oxygen, then it will hinder the whole fermentation process. So oxygen must be absent or very low for true anaerobic metabolism. अगर कोई भी microorganism अगर obligate anaerobe है, so a very low amount will hinder the whole fermentation process. So जब भी आपको क्वेश्चन में मेंशन हो critical for, जैसे यहाँ पे anaerobic लिखा है, अगर यहाँ पे एरोबिक भी लिखा होता तो भी ऑक्सीजन लेवल ही क्रिटिकल पैरामीटर होता, बिकॉज जिस चीज के बारे में हम बोल रहे हैं वो ही तो क्रिटिकल पैरामीटर होगा. सो दिस इज ऑल फॉर द डे. I hope you liked it. Please hit the subscribe button and do share this video with your friends also to make. So keep studying. All the best and thank you so much for watching.